this is the GOAT door. Right? Like, okay, I want some rings, and you realize, hey, Michael Jordan ain't in here, y'all. he ain't in this door, y'all. He's somewhere else.
He's not gonna come back young.
He ain't in this door, right? And it's just one of those things where what we're as players, we're factoring in our numbers, right? Our rings, and saying, no, that we should be able, I have leading title. I'm beating him in every stat. Why y'all not putting me in front of him? And the answer is he was the NBA. So when Bird and Magic was, battling, and when Jordan came in, what they seen was a whole different animal, right? You're seeing something that is different, moves different, talks different, approaches the game different, swag, phenomenal, right? This is the best thing we've seen. Right? I don't give a fuck what he does. This is the best player we've ever seen, right? It was the eye test, right? 88, 87, 88, like he literally went from the wings. They took the wings off. He got the logo. Yeah. They gave him a logo in 88. People don't, like, they took the wings off and say, you got Jordan, right? So that whole campaign, and that is considered the greatest individual year anybody could have had. That's when he became the best player ever. There was no ring. The rings is just what they get to use now. 6, it was just the way he did it. He carried what we have now, solo mission. It's hard to beat solo mission with stats. LeBron can win 6 rings right now.
But he won solo.
They're not giving it to him.
Yeah.
Right? You're not giving a dude who started this joint. Yeah. Right? It's just
it's tough to do.
It's tough. Yeah. Like, so basically everybody just fighting for second.
Yeah. That's an interesting take.
But you're talking about 88, 89, right? They're saying he's the best player in the world who's ever played this game. You got somebody with 11 rings. They're like, I did against white folks. Right? Then you have, same thing with Wilt. No matter what it is, it wasn't against, like 78 when it merged and you had the best in the world all in one building. That's when stats really mattered.
Yeah.
When everybody in the world is all together.
Yeah. Right.
Julius Erving, all of them, George Gervin. Yeah. Now we're going to see. So when he came and like, oh, what's this? This is God right here. This him.
Yeah.
The problem ain't that you're fighting for, his greatness. You're saying all his positives on why he is, but everybody's negative on why they shouldn't be. Right? That's the problem. Why you got to use all the negatives on why this person can't be Jordan. And that's what I'm like, well, like what negatives do you hear about Magic game, Jordan game? You don't hear nothing negative about their game, but they can tell you all ours.
Right.
Shit, motherfucker couldn't go left. He couldn't do this. He couldn't do that. They couldn't even dribble.
Right.
They couldn't even dribble the ball. What are you talking about? Like, God damn.
Gilbert Arenas once dropped a take so explosive it rattled the entire basketball world, claiming Michael Jordan doesn't even walk through the same GOAT door as Magic, Kobe, or LeBron. He's behind a completely separate door, locked with a key forged in one iconic year, 1988. That season wasn't just memorable, it was a coronation, the moment Jordan transformed from rising star to living legend before he ever won a single championship ring. Let that sink in. He became the most feared, most electrifying player on the planet without a finals trip, without a trophy, without the usual resume that defines greatness. Jordan flipped the script by passing the purest test in sports, the eye test. You didn't need stats, accolades, or context. One look at him on the court told you everything. The dominance, the elegance, the ferocity. Even without hardware, everyone watching knew the truth. This man wasn't just different. He was destined to redefine the sport forever. In 1988, Jordan delivered a trifecta so unreal it feels mythical: MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and scoring champion at 35 points per night. He wasn't just an offensive engine or a defensive nightmare. He was both, fused into a force so overwhelming that the entire sport bent around him. Imagine trying to stop Jordan that year. You knew exactly what was coming, yet you had absolutely no way to stop it. He'd cook you for 40 on one end, then humiliate you possession by possession on the other. He didn't just defeat opponents, he dismantled them. That's why 1988 wasn't just a historic season. It became a dividing line in basketball history. Every modern legend, LeBron, Kobe, Durant, Curry, needed championships, resumes, and team success to validate their greatness. Jordan didn't need any of that. His raw game was the proof. The footwork, the hang time, the killer glare, every detail announced that the throne already had its rightful owner. The 6 rings that followed weren't the story, they were simply the exclamation points. The story was already written before the rings ever came. Before Jordan, the NBA was barely staying alive. The late 70s were filled with scandals, collapsing TV ratings, and finals games so irrelevant they were aired on tape delay. Basketball in America was fading. Then Magic and Bird arrived and dragged the league back to relevance with Lakers vs. Celtics drama, Hollywood flair against blue-collar grit. Their rivalry revived the NBA, gave it a heartbeat again. But when Jordan stepped onto the scene, he didn't just revive the game, he transformed it into a global faith. Magic and Bird made the league matter, but Jordan made it eternal. The moment he touched the court, basketball became something deeper, part art, part war, part theater, part poetry. His hang time challenged physics. His fade away became scripture. His fire felt almost biblical. And when Nike unleashed the Jumpman in '88, Jordan stopped being just a player. He became a worldwide icon. Sneakers turned into currency. Posters turned into shrines. The sport stopped being a league. It became a movement, and Jordan was its prophet. Even people who had never watched a single NBA game could recognize his silhouette. And that wasn't sports anymore. It was global evangelism. Magic and Bird kept the league's flame burning. But Jordan turned it into a wildfire that swept across continents. From New York playgrounds to Manila gyms, he didn't just make people watch basketball, he made them believe in it. And the myth that LeBron faced tougher competition collapses instantly under scrutiny. Jordan's era was a battlefield stacked with Hall of Famers and built on physicality that would get players ejected today. He survived the bad boy Pistons, a team that created an entire defensive doctrine, the Jordan rules, specifically to brutalize him with elbows, fists, and outright assaults. Any other star would have folded, but Jordan shattered them instead. He ran into Larry Bird's Celtics dynasty and dropped an immortal 63 in the Garden, forcing Bird to say he'd just witnessed God disguised as Michael Jordan. He stole the torch from Magic's Showtime Lakers in '91, closing one era and launching his own. And on the biggest stages, he cut through Clyde Drexler, Charles Barkley, Gary Payton, Karl Malone, John Stockton, legends who all took their swing and still couldn't break him. Every legend Jordan faced walked away with scars, and that's the difference. Yes, LeBron battled dynasties too, but he also collected 6 finals losses along the way. Jordan, 6 trips, 6 rings, 6 finals MVPs, no failures, no collapses, no excuses. He didn't just beat great teams, he knocked down great players, one Hall of Famer after another, and he did it with a level of finality that left nothing open for debate. His greatness wasn't built on lasting longer, it was built on taking over completely. And then comes the ultimate separator, the eye test. Stats can impress, analytics can argue, but your eyes never lie. Watching Jordan was an experience. The hand-switch layup in '91, the shrug in '92, the flu game in '97, the final shot in '98. These weren't numbers, they were moments that hit you in the chest. LeBron's resume leans on stat sheets, milestones, and longevity, but longevity is survival, not supremacy. Jordan's peak was dynamite compressed into a decade, 6 rings, 6 finals MVPs, 10 scoring titles, all within 13 seasons in Chicago. He didn't need 20 years to prove anything. His prime alone was enough to show he was untouchable. The numbers don't just reveal Jordan's greatness, they roar it. But the truth is he never needed stats for validation because his game passed the one test you can't fake, the eye test. And in that arena, he stands completely alone. Every superstar has a flaw. Magic lacked range, Bird wasn't athletic, Shaq bricked free throws, Kobe sometimes shot his team out of games, and LeBron's killer instinct and late-game jumper have always been questioned. But what was Jordan's weakness? There wasn't one. Offensively, he mastered every weapon, explosive drives, a precision mid-range, and the fadeaway that became the league's unsolvable riddle. Defensively, he was a terror with 9 all-defensive selections and a Defensive Player of the Year award, locking up guards, wings, and anyone bold enough to challenge him. Add in the conditioning, the obsession, the unshakable clutch gene, and his flawless finals resume. 6 trips, 6 rings, 6 finals MVPs, and you're left with a player who offered no openings, no excuses, no blemishes. Jordan wasn't just dominant. He was the closest thing to basketball perfection the sport has ever witnessed. Michael Jordan wasn't just great, he operated with a mentality that felt almost predatory. Most players want to win. Jordan wanted to break whoever stood in front of him. He treated every comparison as disrespect, every matchup as a personal challenge. When Clyde Drexler was mentioned in the same breath in '92, Jordan punished him with 6 first-half threes. When Brian Russell tried to check him in '98, Jordan froze him in time with one of the coldest game winners ever. Even teammates weren't spared. He pushed them, provoked them, and demanded a fire that comfort could never create. LeBron uplifts. Kobe studied and mastered. But Jordan, he arrived with that instinct wired into his DNA. He wasn't just playing the sport. He was hunting legacies and shutting down dynasties without blinking. That's why his name always resurfaces in every GOAT debate. Because at the highest level, fear is the real currency of greatness, and Jordan was the one player who made even legends feel it. Michael Jordan wasn't just the face of basketball, he became the sport itself. He ran through Hall of Famers, shattered dynasties, and treated pressure like just another defender to beat. His game was polished to perfection, his mentality cutthroat, and his legacy beyond reach. Magic and Bird rescued the league, but Jordan transformed it into a worldwide phenomenon. Kobe carried the flame. LeBron stretched greatness across eras. Yet every one of them moved in the shadow he cast. Stats will argue, highlights will divide. But when you reduce the conversation to fear, dominance, influence, and pure competitive perfection, there's only one answer. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, the standard, the throne, the unreachable ceiling. True greatness isn't defined by trophies alone.